One of the earliest memories I had was visiting the one small local museum that we had in Bahamas and just feeling like the spaces weren't really made for me and the kids in my community. One of the first things that I was interested in as I became more mature as an artist was ways of reorganizing this hierarchy of belonging. When I think of what I do now, it takes me right back to my childhood because so much of it was about re-engineering the kind of social hierarchy of who art is made for. I like to set up a kind of narrative arc through an exhibition that takes you through certain feelings and certain smells and certain sounds. And those sounds are about reviving and revealing elements of storytelling, specifically lost storytelling, in ways that align with the nature, the passion, the energy, the bravado of the characters that I'm talking about.
When Tavares and I started talking about the project, he said something about, you kind of want to make the viewer forget they're in a museum. The unexpected is a way of destabilizing people, but that's also a way of creating a sense of openness. That might be an unexpected space that seems like a dream space from real life, or it might be a huge wall of neon. Like when you turn that corner and you see that glowing light and you're like, what am I about to encounter? And then it's this poetic text. There's this desire to not only change what we're talking about, to change how we're talking about it.
I remember the first day my grandfather brought home the Encyclopedia Britannica. It was highly unusual because we were the only ones in our entire community that had one. And I remember being both taken aback by it and fascinated by it, because how in the world is someone amass all this knowledge, and who are they talking to, and who's decided that they were going to put in and who was left out? This room is the beginning because it's the most rational place to tell a story about world making and the kind of infinite nature of lost stories or hidden histories. One of the things that I love about some of these lost stories is that when you find one, you can start to see the reasons why humanity exists in them is very rewarding. And I think Robert Henry Lawrence's story is one of them. The first Black astronaut, he never got to go into space because he died in a flight training exercise in 1967. And I had this opportunity through the LA County Museum to work with engineers and astronautics to put not his remains, but put an effigy to him into space.
Tavares became an art and tech grant recipient. This is an effort to bring artists together with technologists and expertise. It's a perfect image of a lot of Tavares's work, which is it's a hybrid of something high-tech and ancient. The Box satellite has this engineering aspect to it, and it's very futuristic, but the gold could be like it's a monument or keepsake. And so this is a part of how Tavares constructs this big field of time and space of inquiry.
There's a new series called In Praise of Midnight. These are works that are based on monument research. An original monument is scanned and then cast in bronze and then flipped upside down, and a new monument, a monument of a character from history that didn't have the privilege of being erected in a town square, would be cast also and sit on top of the other monument. One may believe that there's this oppositional element, one versus the other, but what ends up happening is they become one object. I think that is more reflective of the human experience than anything else. That we are all flawed, and working from that position allows for us to see ourselves in someone else. There's a significance to your experience, and you're not just looking, you're engulfed in the work. The viewer becomes the main element, the main ingredient of the story. Working with such diverse variety of materials is more about developing a great sense of trust with an audience. You can understand the coldness of bronze and the warmth of grass while understanding the glow of light from neon to understanding text on a sheet of paper. I really have a profound faith that the audience can make the connections that are necessary to navigate those spaces. I hope the viewer feels empowered by the work.